So we have an expression or an idiom in English, and it is get the ball rolling. Get the ball rolling. What does that mean? I'll give you a hint. It has nothing to do with basketball. Hello everyone, my name is Ehab and this is English with Ehab, where we talk about English, we practice it, and hopefully by the end of the lesson we learn something about it. The topic for today is going to be one of my favorites, idioms. And these are idioms specifically related to the workplace. So there are some common ones. I'm only going to discuss 5. I want to focus on these 5 today. Try to give you as many examples as I can to make you understand, and then once we get to the conclusion, we'll wrap everything up and see what we've learned. Okay, why don't we get to the board and take a look at the examples. Okay, on the board right behind me are 5 idioms that are related to working and workplace. I'm going to go one by one. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say it, and you guys at home can just repeat after me. Get the ball rolling. Get the ball rolling. Number 2, up to speed. Up to speed. Number 3, back to the drawing board. Back to the drawing board. Number 4, think outside the box. Think outside the box. Number 5, throw in the towel. Throw in the towel. Now, these idioms, as with all idioms, are confusing. And the reason why is because we have these random words that are put together and they're supposed to mean something. We have drawing board, we have outside the box, we have throw in towel, ball rolling. Do not look at each individual word, because if you do, you're going to be miserable. What you want to do is you want to look at the whole expression and use it in that way, because if you use it individually, it's going to be very confusing for you. Okay, so let's go one by one. Okay, get the ball rolling. What does that mean? Very simply, get the ball rolling means to get started with something. A lot of times we use this in the workplace because companies have ideas all the time. But these ideas need to be planned. A lot of times they take money. They're not cheap or free. So when we say we're going to get the ball rolling, it means we're going to get started. So the example that I have, we have talked about this project for months. It's not 2. I always make at least 1 mistake on the board. It's time to get the ball rolling and start the project. So again, when you're in a company or any kind of business, before a project is started, there's lots of planning and lots of discussion. Once you say, let's get the ball rolling, that means you're going to start it. You're going to start funding it. Maybe you're going to start paying for it. You're going to start organizing workers to start working on this particular project. That is get the ball rolling. And again, like I said in the introduction, has nothing to do with sports. Up to speed. When we think of this word speed, we think of maybe driving or going fast. Okay? Has nothing to do with this idiom. Up to speed means to be familiar with current information. That's all. For example, I missed the meeting, so I'm not up to speed on the new company rules. That means I don't really know. I'm not really familiar with the new information. A lot of times we use this for technology at work, because a lot of businesses and workplace introduce new kinds of programs. And if you don't know about it, we say, I'm sorry, I'm not up to speed on this particular program. So up to speed just means to be familiar with something, a current information, new information. You can say, I am up to speed if you know about it, or you can say, look, I am not up to speed if you don't really know about it. Back to the drawing board. Back to the drawing board. Back to the drawing board means that you start thinking about a new idea after your first idea or your first plan was not successful. If it failed and you did not succeed, then we go back to the drawing board. So again, you can use this in everyday life. It's not only limited to businesses and company. When you have an idea or a plan for something and it does not work out, okay, well, we got to get back to the drawing board and we got to think about a new idea and a new plan so that we can meet our objectives or our goals, whatever those may be. So for example, my first idea to attract more customers to the store didn't work. So it is back to the drawing board. That means I need to go back and think about a new idea to get more customers into my store. Think outside the box. This is an expression that's very, very common, and maybe you have heard of it. Think outside the box means to think beyond a normal way. Generally speaking, a lot of times this is used with people who are very creative, very original. It's used with inventors, people that create things that have never been created before. The example that I have is with the famous Apple company founder, Steve Jobs. Many, many years ago, he created the iPhone. Before the iPhone, we didn't have internet on phones, generally speaking. Some did, but most of them did not. We didn't have this screen where I can touch it and navigate my way through phone numbers, through the internet, through my email, cameras. Again, we did have cameras on phone, but not to the extent of, or not to the quality of the cameras that we have on today's phone. So, Steve Jobs really thought outside the box when he created the iPhone. Again, he was thinking in a way which was not the normal or usual way. And when I say beyond a normal way, it's usually used in a positive way. Throw in the towel. This has nothing to do with laundry. The meaning means to give up or to quit. For example, after months of not being able to sell his car, John threw in the towel and just donated. That means that John was trying to find a buyer for his car, but he couldn't find one. And so he just gave up. He didn't really want to spend any time advertising for the car, trying to sell his car, and he just donated the car. These are the 5 idioms. And in the conclusion, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 5 situations, and we are going to see for each situation which idiom matches up with it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to the conclusion. Okay, on the board right behind me are the 5 idioms that we have talked about today, and right underneath those idioms are 5 sentences, which basically describe some kind of situation. And really what our job is to match each situation with the idioms that we've gone over today. Again, the idioms are think outside the box. That means think in a completely different way than the normal way. Something creative, something inventive. Back to the drawing board. That means your first or your initial idea did not work, and you need to come up with a new plan. Throw in the towel means to give up or to quit. Get the ball rolling. Get the ball rolling means you want to get started on something immediately. And generally speaking, usually this happens when you keep talking about an idea and there's really no action. When you say get the ball rolling, it's time for action. Up to speed. Up to speed means you know about something, you are familiar with something. Again, if we use it in the negative, then that means that you don't know about it for one reason or another. Okay, let's take a look. Number 1, the company's delivery system is too slow and customers receive packages late. It needs a new idea for a faster delivery. This situation here would describe which one of the idioms? If you said back to the drawing board, you are correct. Back to the drawing board. Again, if this idea is not working for the company, their delivery is not really good, it's not running smoothly, they need a new idea. And they need to head right back to the drawing board. Number 2, the restaurant closed down after 2 months. Very few people ate there and it consistently lost money. If the restaurant closed down, it means that the restaurant gave up. So, to throw in the towel. Again, when you throw in the towel, it means that you have given up, and you can use this for a company giving up as well, as in this example. Number 3, we've had the equipment for over a year. If we want to be serious about remodeling the offices, we need to start now. So again, this is a really good example of get the ball rolling. And I like the part where it says that we've had the equipment for over a year. That means they've talked about this for quite a bit. They've planned a lot, but there's no action. Now there is going to be action. Number 4, I'm very familiar with office programs like Microsoft Word and Excel. However, I don't know too much about social media. This one should be up to speed. So remember, when you are up to speed, it could be like this example, very familiar with office programs, but it could be the opposite. I am not too familiar with other things, in this example, social media. Number 5, when Tony created a pizza made with fried chicken, he really thought in an innovative way. No chef had ever thought of such an idea. This example describes think outside the box. Because again, when we think outside the box, we try things in a new way, and usually it's been never done before. Hope you guys learned something. Please subscribe and like the video if you can. Also, if you want to see a particular lesson being done, please leave a comment down below. And again, I will make sure that happens in the very, very near future. As always, keep on speaking English. Bye-bye for now.